It is very funny to think about the history of this ship, since it's originally been produced as a meme, because at the time we used to have a lot of bot Maller accounts flying around, and that was the primary inspiration behind this particular ship here. I never imagined that this Maller would be one of my favorite ships, and I never imagined that it would be so much fun to fly one. It's so much fun that I actually built a MALLER 2 Guardian that I'm still not using, but I'm slowly preparing it, and I believe that thing will be very fun to use. I also have a nanocore. Well, I have a nanocore box that I still haven't opened. But the goal for this ship was to be as cheap as possible, and a very cheap boat for yeeting basically. I don't really care if this thing blows up. Surprisingly, it is still the very first Maller that I bought. It still hasn't been destroyed. Maybe the MALLER 2 Guardian will be replacing it, I don't know. But today this ship will be the star of the show, and we will be having some good old fun with this thing. Now the MALLER 2 Guardian is still in Ita. I believe I didn't bring it to this station. I also have to do a Ita trip. I have like so much stuff in assets. I need to really start selling things. Really need to clear out my hangar. I don't know, I just log in, play for a while, and I always forget to go and unload the stuff in my hauler, and then to bring that at Ida to sell things. But yeah, the MALLER 2 Guardian will probably be making an appearance in one of the next videos. Hopefully I'll have some good targets for that thing. It should be a very fun to fly ship. So let's go to the first target for today, and I think I will. Yeah, this is going to be the clip where I had something quite funny. That you will see what I'm talking about, but it does answer a big question on something that I have been wondering about. Well, something that I used to be wondering about, and something that a lot of players have asked me, but I never really had the chance to verify it until this video today, that is. So we have something at the Serpentis base. Now I think it is a stabber. Now the modified stabber, that's actually kind of a very rare ship nowadays. You don't really see the modified ships that often, and this modified stabber is unfortunately in a very bad position there. Well, I guess that was the first kill for today. Now the Serpentis base is actually quite scary, because these ships have webs, they have scramblers, and there's a lot of them, and they do a lot of damage. So if you're not prepared, you will be caught quite easily. The good thing is, I've actually been debating to launch the Canyu prototype at the stabber. Very glad I decided against it, because I would probably be dead now if I did use that ship, since it has very bad tracking. The good thing for the Maller here is that this thing does have very solid tank, so not really worried about the armor, since yeah, the base cannot break the tank off the Maller, so I was pretty safe there. And let me dock. So the question was, what happens if you click dock with timer and your game disconnects or you lose internet? I usually didn't have a chance to experience that, and when I always say, if I ever experience it, I hope I am in a cheap ship. Well, you will see what happens when you click dock and when you disconnect in the game. So my ship is now at the station. I did not, I just click dock and I don't touch the screen, but I realized, why is my ship still in space? And this is when I realized, oh, we crashed. Now, something quite funny that happens only when you are when you disconnect with timer, your ship will not be destroyed. Well, I mean, this is definitely... Well, there is no sentry guns, since they did not load. And yeah, my internet has crashed, and well, the moment of truth. What happens when something like this happens? When you lose connection while docking with timer? Does your ship dock, or does your ship get roasted by the sentry guns? Well, we're about to find out when I log back in. Now, I think the most important thing is when it disconnects. If it disconnects before you click dock, then you will be in space. If it disconnects while you are warping, it can be dangerous. So we're about to see what will happen to my poor MALLER here. Is this going to be the way the MALLER died the first time? Well, we're about to find out. We are about to find out. Let me just... Yeah, my Wi-Fi is... Yeah, my internet completely gone. My internet completely gone. Let me... Now, by the time I was recording this, I was actually resetting the router. The phone was on the table. And I'm turning on the Wi-Fi on and off. So we're about to see what happened to my ship there. Logging in, and it docked. So that's what happens when you lose connection while docking. Your ship will dock if you click dock. So yeah, definitely a heart attack moment if you're flying something expensive. If you're flying something cheap, like I am, not a big deal. But still, that's what happens. And surprisingly, a expensive stabber with a very, very, very cursed build. Now, I will be collecting the wreck there, since that's actually a good loot drop. That's actually a very solid loot drop. And I just realized I did not loot the wreck, so I will be returning to the base to collect the wreck, and then we will see what the total value is. But a small booster, a small city booster is always nice to have. It's decent loot drop. So obviously I am going to be returning to collect the wreck. Now, I'm fairly sure I've seen 2 player wrecks in the base. Fairly sure there was 2 wrecks. One destroyer and one cruiser. So good chance is that we might have some 2 interesting wrecks waiting for us there. Hopefully both will have some good loot. But we will find that. I could just take an Astor or something and be fast. I'll just collect it with the MALLER, since it is a base and the base can be scary. I'm not taking any chances. Yeah, these ships are definitely... Oh! 2 scramblers again. That's just lovely. Let's destroy these ships. Okay, well, that's why the base is always scary. Especially the low tier base where you fly with a low tier ship, of course, but yeah. Yep, though they're doing some good damage on my shield. The good thing is I am an armor tank, so I am really not worried about taking any damage from these ships. I think one armor repair should be more than enough to fully repair this thing. I mean, this is a tanky ship, and the Guardian will definitely be tankier than this, that's for sure. And will also be capacitor stable as well. So I'm honestly looking forward for that. There's that one wreck far away. Yeah, it is a destroyer wreck. Let's pick that up as well. And let me just destroy the last ship that holds a point. A scrambler, there we go. Now I'm able to move full speed towards the wreck. I would say one of the downsides for the MALLER is the fact that it's slow. That's one big downside on the MALLER. It's very slow. Definitely slower than the stabber, but I'm actually starting to prefer the MALLER over the stabber fleet. Since, I mean, I don't know. I know the MALLER can tank a stabber fleet without a problem, and the stabber will eventually just get destroyed by the MALLER if it can't break its tank. But this thing is just, I really like the MALLER. I did not expect that I would enjoy this thing as much as I did. And the best thing, the best part about the MALLER is you don't even need Omega to fly. And I'd expect to see more restrictions lifted on the normal modules, so that alphacons might start to use the higher grade modules. That's going to be, I mean, alphacons can already use like green modules, and they're already really good. So the MALLER definitely is a very good ship in that regard. That was all, oh my god, that's actually also expensive. 167 million loot. This is the most exciting 160 million loot I've ever seen and ever experienced, actually. So that pallet returned twice, and they have been destroyed here 2 times in the base. Well, that's free loot. I'm not gonna say no to free loot. Free loot is nice loot. Never say no to free loot. Well, they have returned for a 3rd time, and I am returning with the MALLER.
Warp drive active.
I actually thought to use a stabber, but I feel like it's more satisfying to use a MALLER in combat, since it can actually tank properly. And the Guardian will tank even better than this, that's for sure. It has a 6th low slot, which is wild, and that's gonna be very fun to test out. There is the stabber. Okay, let me approach. I'll burn towards them. Now they seem fast. I'll say that stabber seems fast. In original, I thought that they must be using an afterburner or a macro road drive, but as you're about to see, I will be proven wrong very quickly. Wept and scrambled, and I'll just keep the stabber at range. Seems like they are using an active shield tank. That's interesting.
We're under attack.
And they are also opening fire. Okay, nice. Well, I have to say that shield seems to be holding. Well, I mean, the shield is breaking, but they are boosting that shield. That is kind of interesting to think about. But lasers love shields, and now they are into armor. 3 Nosferatus, 4 Nosferatus, and a dampener. Well, right now I'm fighting everything. Both the ships from the base and the stabber. I'm fighting all of them at the same time. But 4 Nosferatus, that's actually quite capacitor heavy on my end. Thankfully I have a capacitor battery, a large one, so not much of a big problem to be able to maintain a capacitor with this build, so I'm not really worried about that.
We're under attack.
Okay, let's use some armor repairs. Let me not forget I have armor repairs, since usually I fly ships with no repairs at all. This is one of the rare ships that has repairs. Well, that stabber is now into hull. I'm in about 70% armor. Repairing quickly though, so not a big problem. Easily maintaining the armor. They are unable to break the tank on the MALLER. They're still boosting shield. They're definitely leeching off my capacitor, but it's not enough to sustain the tank of the stabber. Stabber isn't a ship that's meant for active tanking. It can't do that well. It is fast and has DPS, but unfortunately capacitor and the tank on the stabber is not that good. And well, that was actually surprisingly nice. I also got extra small boosters. Well, I got a lot of free boosters today. I got a lot of extra small C-type boosters that I'll gladly take, and I'll gladly sell on the market. That was fun. Again, these small ships are more fun than flying the other ones, the more expensive ships. Mostly because it is so, let's say, I think it is fun because I don't really care about the outcome. I can lose the ship, I can survive. It doesn't change anything because it's a cheap ship. So you can completely forget about losing the thing because it costs nothing. And you can buy thousands of them and not feel a thing on the wallet. That's why I like, and that's why I just enjoy doing combat with these ships, because it's so relaxing, honestly. It is so relaxing, and it's simply pure fun. The fun in the purest
Warp
form.
drive active.
That's how I experience the low tier ships in the game, and the fact that they will be improved makes that even better, because these things are just going to become a lot more popular. Just watch, they will become more popular since
Docking request
they'll be
accepted.
changed, and their role will definitely be more important. But that was a good kill, definitely. That stabber did give a fight until the very end.
Undocking.
No, the most lethal cruiser in the game, the Stratus. Not because it's anything special, it's a exploration or expedition cruiser, but because of the bombs. Their own bombs terrify me. I use them
Warp drive
and they
active.
terrify me how good they are, especially when I dropped, like, I don't know how many billions I dropped into the implant. Was it worth it? Yes, it was. I mean, it was so worth it that I completely changed my... I completely went back to drones. I stopped using the Macarial, and I went back to the old cover-tops route that I used to have. I started with drones. I guess I'll finish with drones. So drone boats are basically the primary ship that I'm flying now, because of the bombard. It gives a stupid amount of DPS that's just silly, and yeah, just that the drone boats became my favorite ship. Now, I actually really wish I took the Prophecy Guardian for this, or the MALLER Guardian for this. The thing is, I didn't really know what distance they'll warp back to, and they left the mission for some reason. And I'm actually glad I took the Stratus, since it was cloaked. I can just wait for them to return and then adjust the warping. But yeah, it would be much more fun if this was the MALLER Guardian, or the MALLER, or even, you know, the Prophecy Guardian, since these are the ships that I usually use against battlecruisers like that. They would be much more
We're
fun.
under
But you know,
attack.
sometimes you just have to use the ship that you have to use.
Warp drive active.
If there's a good chance that I would probably miss the target if I flew the MALLER or the other ship, or the Prophecy Guardian, since I could have messed up the warping, and they could have easily warped at 30-40, and yeah. So I hate the fact that they had to use the Stratus, because I love longer battles, and I would enjoy it a lot more if I did fight the Harby with the MALLER or with the Prophecy. But yeah, this is the perfect ideal target for the Prophecy Guardian or the MALLER. But hey, sometimes you just have to fly what you have to fly. Sometimes I just can't really pick, since it happens, I guess. So yeah, next. Now,
Undocking.
the next target, I kind of, from somewhere, I kind of recognized the name a little bit. Maybe not. It was quite familiar to me, and they have been in a anomaly. Looked like an older account as well, so could be a
Warp
high
drive
chance
active.
that, you know, it can be a bait. And against the bait ships, I usually use the Celestis or something similar, since the Celestis just breaks the tank of any bait ship, and I can just cloak and warp off if it's a big bait. Usually it is a big bait, so let's see what happens to the Caracal Navy. Well, yeah, let's see if it is a bait. Well, okay, that's definitely not a bait. But better to be safe than to regret it later. Oh well,
We're under attack.
overkill, yeah. But you never know. Let me collect the wreck. This is why I like to fly the Celos, because it has range, has speed, has surprisingly good tank, and I love to use this thing versus
Warp
ships
drive active.
that are bait ships. The Celos is a very good anti-bait ship because it breaks the tank. 9000 DPS or about 7000 with my current build, since I'm using cannons. But yeah, this thing breaks bait ships, and I primarily use it now for potential baits in the system or in the vicinity. I can just warp a distance, judge the situation, and just kite the bait ship. They can't approach, since usually they are very tanked, and the Celos
Undocking.
is quite speedy. The Battle Logi frigate. You know, my best kill with this was, I think, a Covetor 2, which was like 1.2 or 2
Warp
billion.
drive active.
This is a 30 million-ish ship, or maybe less than that. And this little thing can easily punch through a Covetor. That's why I bought this thing. Since they're just surprisingly unused. And I think I'm the only one who's flying these things at the moment in the game. I don't know if anyone else is using a Logi frigate besides me. Well, at least for this purpose, I'm using them for combat, and we have a destroyer here that was already in hull. Oh well, a kill mark is a kill mark. I am not going to say no to a free kill mark. And let's warp out. These things are also
We're under
incredibly fun. If you don't use these ships, you're missing out on a lot. I'm just saying.
Warp drive active.
I really need to do I need to get my alt in a Logi frigate as well, and then do a Logi frigate duo. I think that will be quite hilarious. Remote armor on both of them, one weapon and one remote armor, and a full armor tank built on both. Oh my god, I just got a very nice little idea. I need to try that
Warp
out.
drive active.
Does sound fun. Thing is, it will work really well, since yeah, I think it will work really well. Oh my god, I got a good idea for something else. Oh yes, we are about to have some more fun with these things.
Docking request accepted.
Since my alt is alpha clone, and I think you can fly these things as an alpha clone, so I'm fairly sure I can do something silly with them. Yeah, I think that's gonna be pretty fun. Although I have to set up the emulator on my
Undocking.
device to run the game on it. And next target, we will be launching a Mammoth at a venture. Well, I mean, even the Mammoth has kill marks, by the way. Don't forget that. Even my Mammoth has kill marks. Even the Noctis I have also has kill marks. The Noctis kill like 5 Covetors or something by now. But I find that pretty funny,
drive
because the
active.
Noctis is such a weird ship. Such a weird ship. I like it though. The Noctis is really fun. I'm not gonna pretend like I did not enjoy that thing. It's actually really fun. And there is the Venture. Is the Venture going to warp from a MALLER, from a Mammoth? Yes, they will. Smart choice. Okay, let's dock this thing. This is such a slow ship though. I have a battle bus Tyra somewhere, and I have a Badger
Warp
as well,
drive active.
also somewhere in space. in a station somewhere. I don't know where. I also have a venture for the Core Tops venture, which I also need to start utilizing a lot more for combat. That thing is also really fun. I like it. A very surprising ship that we have received. And let's go to the next target. We have a Stabber fleet. Now that's potentially a worthy opponent for the MALLER. Let's go in. Orbit at 5.
Warp
I mean,
drive
I'm
active.
obviously not worried at all from a Stabber fleet. Oh, they just left. Oh no. Well, maybe they logged out. I can catch them probably if they're still there. I say maybe, I mean, if they might have went to the other system nearby, I'll just check that out as well. Well, yeah, I think they completely left the system. Oh well. Let me check out the nearby system, and if that's empty, well, that would be it for today, I would say.
Warp drive active.
Honestly, the MALLER remains, I guess, the good old MALLER. Still have no nanocore for it. I don't know what I'll do. I'm very torn what to do with that illusionary ghost nanocore box. I really hope that we receive more nanocore boxes for the anniversary of the game, and I really hope that we get a battleship nanocore box. I really hope we get a battleship nanocore box on the anniversary. I am picking if we do get one, I am picking the illusionary ghost for the Dominic's Navy, and I will be
Autopilot
maxing
engaged.
it out stat-wise. So Dominic's Navy will have much more DPS with the drums. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. It was a bit of a weird video today for sure. Not that often that I fly the MALLER exclusively. Usually I start with the Stratus, but I just wanted to fly the MALLER a little bit since I haven't been using it for a while, and I really enjoy flying it since it's such a good ship. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. If you would like to support me, feel free to like and subscribe. And with that being said, stay safe, fly safe, and as always, I'll see you next time.